You remember me when the west wind moves among the fields of barley. You can tell the sun in his jealous sky when we walked in fields of gold. So she took her love for to gaze a while among the fields of barley. In his arms she fell as her hair came down among the fields of gold.
Good morning, church. Welcome to this edition of Checking In with Pastor Jim. Glad to see you this morning. Let me see if I can get the comment section up on the screen. Oh my goodness, people are already here in the room. It is Saturday morning, January the 16th, 2021. Tomorrow is the 17th, which makes sense if you're counting, but it's also a Sunday. And Sunday is the day that I will hope to join you for worship at Richmond First Baptist Church at 8:30 and again at 11 o'clock. I'm looking forward to it. I'm planning to spend most of this day in the sermon writing chair, polishing up the sermon for tomorrow, getting it ready to preach. And I'm excited about it. This is going to be a really interesting sermon, maybe even a good one, from Psalm 139. You know that psalm that says, O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou art acquainted with all my ways. You know when I lie down, you know when I get up. Your eyes beheld my unformed substance when I was being knit together in my mother's womb. Quite a psalm. Good place to start for tomorrow's sermon. So I hope you'll join me for that. Thanks for joining me today. Let's just check and see who's in the room. I'm going to put on my reading glasses so I can get everybody's name right. Look, Martha Clough is the first one in the room. I think that deserves some sound effects. Oh, come on, people. You can do better than that. Let's try again. Martha Clough. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, Pete Richardson is in the room. Good morning. Happy Saturday morning to all you guys. I think he means all the rest of you guys. Patty Whitfield says, howdy, Jim. Howdy to you, ma'am. Lynn Miller is here. Good morning. The sun is shining. I love that music. That was Fields of Gold by Eva Cassidy. Helen Lukehart is here this morning. Good morning to you, Helen. Hope you're well. Good morning, Jim. Says somebody, good morning, whoever you are. Bev Evans, good morning. Thank you for letting me know twice. Good morning, says a pink heart. It might be Eunice Kim. It might be somebody else adopting that signature emoji. Rick Peters says good morning. Good morning to you, Rick and Kim. Hope you're both well. Good day, church family. The Peñas are listening. And I'm thinking all the way from Saudi Arabia. So glad you could be with us. Donna Lawrence is here. Good morning to you, Donna. Glad to see you. Betty White, wonderful to have you here. Good Saturday morning. It is a beautiful morning out there. John Hart says today is another beautiful gift from God. Let me just remind you, when I pray in the morning, I always say, Father in heaven, thank you for this new day. Let me receive it as a gift and open it like a present. So, John, you're right. Today is a gift. Patty loves Psalm 139. Maybe you'd like to preach it tomorrow. Patty, maybe? Karen DiMarino is here, our star from Thursday's broadcast. So good to see you, Karen. I'm not able there you go. She's here. Pam Ely is here this morning. Good morning from Virginia Beach. Tell the ocean hello for me. Somebody else saying, hello, Jim. Somebody says it's snowing outside in North Carolina. What are you doing in North Carolina? You should flee to the north, to Virginia, where it's not snowing at the moment, just sunshine. Karen, look at this. Karen's signature emoji, faith, hope, love. I like that. Hey, Ellen Grubb, good morning to you. Carolyn Powers says this is the day the Lord has made, and he's done a really fine job with it. Thank you for that reminder. Linda Watts is here, says, good to see you today. We'll excuse all typos at this time of the morning. And Shirley Seibert is always good about saying, Jim, have a blessed day. Well, it's blessed already. I'm in this broadcast with all of you who have checked in with me this morning. And I just want to take a little bit of Saturday morning time to talk. Could we do that? Could we just sit back and relax and visit with each other a little bit? If I had a fresh cup of coffee, I would be sipping it right now. If you were sitting across from me, we would be having a conversation. It's one of the things I miss most during this time of global pandemic is the opportunity to have a cup of coffee with someone. Maybe it's Starbucks, maybe it's some other coffee shop, maybe just in my office, maybe on Wednesday night in the fellowship hall, to be eating together, visiting together in that way. I miss that so much. So I want to talk to you a little bit about the email that I sent out yesterday. I closed yesterday's broadcast, which was all about reading the Bible, by saying that I was sending out an email, and I did, and I've gotten some feedback from people who saw that and wanted to respond to it. I was just talking about how hard it is to kind of agree on the truth these days, that we're getting our news from various sources, and not all of those news sources agree with each other, which makes it hard for us to agree with each other. And can I just say that as a pastor, as your pastor, it's been really frustrating sometimes to try to have conversations with people when we disagree on the fundamentals. It feels like saying, well, but 2 + 2 = 4, right? And the other person says, who told you that? And I say, well, it's what I've always heard. Well, it's wrong. Just makes it hard to carry on a conversation when you don't have that kind of common ground of agreement to stand on. So I sent out that email yesterday just asking, could we really work hard to find some truth that is kind of in the middle, kind of neutral, not opinionated and surely not propagandized? Could we find some middle ground, some common ground to stand on so that we can have conversations with each other? That was my appeal. Christy asked me last night, why did you send out that email? What compelled you to write it? And I said, well, I'm a pastor. And I have this flock to care for. And so when I look at the news and it says that 385,000 people have died from COVID-19 in this country, I'm concerned for my flock. I want to make sure that they stay safe and well. But not everybody has the same news source. And there are people who have been telling me coronavirus is nothing to worry about. COVID-19 is just, it's kind of a bad cold. Well, that's not what I'm hearing, but that's what they're hearing, and it makes it really hard to have a conversation. I do think as a pastor, I've got to err on the side of caution, right? It would be like this. Say I'm a mother, and my child is saying, hey, Mom, can I go outside and play? And I say, no, you can't. And he says, why not? And I say, because there's a sniper on the roof of the building across the street and he's shooting at people. And my kid says, well, but he's not a very good shot. He only hits about 1 out of every 100 people he shoots at. I would say to my child, you are not going outside. It's my responsibility to keep you safe. And even if that sniper is a very bad shot, sometimes he hits people. So that's kind of how I feel about coronavirus. I don't want to take chances, and I certainly don't want to take chances where you are concerned. So I'm listening to the news that says, let's be cautious about this, people. Let's not be crazy. Some people are listening to the other side, which says it's not that big a deal. It's not much to worry about. And on the one hand, I want to say, well, it doesn't matter. You can believe what you want. On the other hand, as a pastor trying to care for a congregation, I want you to be careful, right? So I look at the news, as I told Christy, and I see that we're expecting or maybe bracing ourselves for some violence this weekend. I was thinking maybe only on Inauguration Day, but when I checked this morning, they said no, this weekend, maybe on Sunday. There could be some violence in some of our capital cities, including this capital city. Well, that concerns me. I love this city, right? I love Richmond, Virginia. And a lot of my members, church members, live here in Richmond City and in the surrounding counties. I don't want harm to come to them. I don't want harm to come to this city. So when I read this report that says we might need to brace ourselves for violence, it concerns me. And I think, why is that? Why are we having to brace for violence? Well, it's because there are two versions of the truth out there right now. There is one truth that says Joe Biden won the election. There is another truth that says Donald Trump won the election. And people who hold on to those truths on both sides are ready to fight about it. Things could get violent. Well, that concerns me. So what do? I look for the truth in all of this. What are the most reliable and least biased news sources saying about what happened in the election? And to the best of my ability, they are saying Joe Biden won that election fair and square. A lot of people have not accepted that outcome, and they feel like this election was stolen, and to them that seems like an injustice, and they are willing to fight to make things right. So what I was appealing for in yesterday's email was the truth. Can we find the truth? Can we find it somewhere in the middle? Can we share that kind of common ground? Can we have some agreement on what is true so that we can be church family together? It's hard to be family together when you've got people who are on opposite ends of the spectrum. It's hard. It's not impossible. I thought about it like this sometime in the night. I grew up going to Boy Scouts, and my dad was a scout master at one time. But I thought about the scoutmaster who's trying to lead his Boy Scouts on a hike. And he's going to take them up to Signal Mountain and back again. And so they go. They make their way up to Signal Mountain, and they're getting ready to start back. And one of the Boy Scouts says, "What kind of compass are you using to get us to Signal Mountain and home again?" And the scoutmaster says, "Well, I'm using the yellow compass that I have always used. Old Yeller, I call it. It always points true north." And this scout says, "Well, I have a blue compass, and on my blue compass, north is in a little different direction. It's a little left of where it is on your compass." And somebody else shows up with a red compass and says, "On my compass, north is a little right of where it is on your compass." And here I am, the scoutmaster, trying to get my Boy Scouts home again. And I'm using the compass that I've used forever, the one that I think points me in the right direction. But some of them are saying, no, we should be going more to the left. And some are saying, no, we should be going more to the right. And my concern as a pastor is, how do I get everybody home? How do I do that? I hope you can understand some of the frustration that I feel when I'm trying to be the pastor of what we call a big tent church. I've said that before. If you could put us all on one pew, you would have the full range of opinion and belief. It's not easy to be the pastor of a big tent church. It would help if we could agree on the news and then have our own opinions. But in these days, we're finding it hard even to agree on the news. And that is a problem. It's a problem that I tried to address in yesterday's letter. Now, some people read through the article that I had shared, and they said, no, the article is biased. And I think, yes, everything is biased. But I did appreciate the question the author was asking. How can we find an unbiased source of news? How can we get as close to the center as possible? So, one of the sources that he mentioned was the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, which reports on our news from across the ocean. You might say that they have kind of an impartial eye when it comes to reporting the news. So I don't know what you're going to do today, but I'm thinking maybe just for today at least, I'm going to try to go forward with the Bible and the BBC. Maybe that's the kind of compass that will point me in the right direction, at least for today. Tomorrow is another story. And tomorrow, the truth that is going to lead the way for me comes straight out of the Bible, out of Psalm 139. Read it today if you have time. Get ready for tomorrow's service. I hope you will participate, enjoy it. I hope you'll sing the hymns out loud when the time comes. That's tomorrow. This is today. I will see you in church. Okay? Bye for now.